The number 5 case on my list is currently going to the CS20. Now the CS20 is not my favorite case by any means, and honestly I'm not really a big fan of anything specifically inside of it. I do think that it has a little bit of an advantage in terms of it having the classic knife, but other than that I'm not a big fan of really anything it has. With that being said, the stats do not lie. This case is not really in demand, but the problem is it's got such low supply on it that we can see obviously it has turned out to be a pretty stable investment, and honestly a pretty successful one at that. It's not my favorite case by any means, but it does not lie in what we're seeing right here, that it is a pretty decent overall well-rounded case, especially for being one of the cheaper rare cases. You combine that with overall it having some trade up potential, and I think we're led into this position right here where we have a rather unimpressive case, but the knives are decent enough, the skins are decent enough that overall we are seeing enough unboxing demand for it to actually land at number 5 on this list. Skinland is today's sponsor, and if you're looking to sell your CS2 skins, they are the number 1 spot. Now with Valve's latest update, you have to wait 7 days to go ahead and get your money, but with Skinland, you're going to be able to get the best rate possible with a $10 free bonus on your first trade. Now don't forget to use code MasterShiny for that bonus, and the best part about this is they are one of the first to bring this back, and they are the most safe option to sell your CS2 skins for cash. They've also got a massive marketplace if you're looking to pick up some CS2 skins as well, significantly cheaper than the Steam market. I sell on Skinland for the best rate, so don't wait. Now talking about our favor and gallery cases, there is a lot to like inside of this area. We talk about it consistently inside of this channel, but the fever and the gallery case are two cases that would absolutely explode if they were not currently able to be bought in the armory. And now with that being said, I don't know necessarily if it's a really strong investment to make inside the current market, because I don't think they're going to be going away from the armory. Both of these have very strong unboxing numbers, relatively speaking. Obviously the fever is currently dominating the overall unboxing numbers, and therefore it pretty much possesses zero chance to get removed. Gallery case on the other hand at least has a slight chance, but I don't think we're going to be seeing any switch up inside of this area. I love these cases long term. Once they get removed, they're going to be one of my strongest investments. Now number 4 on my list without a doubt is going to be the snakebite case. When we're talking about cheaper rare investments, this is the one that everyone's been looking at. It is currently the cheapest opportunity for you to get into a rare case, and it's definitely one that should not be undermined. Inside of it, we've got heavy demand in something that has consistently been shown to be one of the strongest when it comes for unboxing cases. Unfortunately, the biggest problem that the snakebite case has is the snakebite case itself, being that it is so strong that it has really racked up a pretty expensive price point for a snakebite case. If we want to compare it to over a year ago, it's seen some massive growth. With that being said, I don't think necessarily that holds it back. I would definitely say the snakebite case is still in a very strong long-term position. It's got everything we look for in the fundamentals and overall a long-term longevity. It's definitely not one you're going to be able to get super cheap anymore, but I still think it's a great position, and honestly it's still in a really strong outlook moving forward. Now talking about one of the safest potential investments out there, that's going to be the discontinued cases. Now these are perfect in one aspect, and that's going to be obviously the fact that the supply cannot increase for these. It's only a decreasing supplies, but the biggest issue we run into is really the fact that they are so expensive. I wouldn't say you missed the boat on investing into discontinued cases, but let's be completely honest here. We're talking about $8 to $10 for some of these cases on a high end. That's crazy, and that's honestly not a price point that I'm personally willing to pay. Now number 3 on my list is going to be going to the Danger Zone case. Now the Danger Zone case is definitely one that if you can get it at a cheaper price point, it would move up this list and do 2 or potentially the first place, but inside of the current market it's just gotten way too expensive unless you're getting it really cheap with a buy order, which I would highly suggest to do. But we're looking at a position now where we're looking at $2.50 to almost upwards of $3 for a Danger Zone case. That's absolutely insane, and that's a very hefty price to pay for this specific case. I really like it long term. The fundamentals show that this case is in heavy demand with people unboxing it. It's got everything we look for inside of a great case investment, but it's just extremely expensive, and that's obviously a piece of the puzzle we got away when we're looking at trying to figure out what's the best investment to make right now. For me, the Danger Zone is still a very clear yes in terms of being one of the best cases out there, but the price point is still consistently creeping up. Now breaking down our active duty cases, we've got to go ahead rule out 2 right away. That's going to be the Revolution and the Kilowatt case. Both of these, in my honest opinion, are just way too new to see any real incentive for people to invest into them at the current moment. They're probably going to be in there for a significant amount of time. Dreams and Nightmares, in my honest opinion, is way too expensive to make a reasonable investment into it. Plus, obviously, that one's probably going to be sticking around for a while. We've got the Recoil, we've got the Fracture. The two honest outlooks, if you're trying to make profit off of a case moving to the rare drop pool, these are your 2 options. And honestly, I think it's very split on which one you want to go to. Both of them are currently sitting around a 50-cent price point, which in my opinion is just way too expensive to be investing into cases like this. But if that's the risk you want to go for, obviously you have that opportunity. For me personally, active duty cases have just gotten way too expensive to make a reasonable investment into them. I would rather wait and see which one goes rare and then make an investment personally. Now talking about the best case to invest into if you think the skins market is going to be going absolutely crazy, for me it's the Operation Wildfire case. This one is absolutely positioned to be one of the best cases inside inside of this game if it didn't have the Bowie knife. The Bowie knife holds it back significantly because it boasts one of the best skin collections we've ever seen inside of a case with the fuel injector and many other high tier items. The wildfire is just held back by the Bowie knives, and some people honestly don't even care about that. If you want to look at the unboxing ROI, it's up there as one of the best. The skins are loved, and I definitely think this one is a very solid option if you just don't care about the knives inside. Now on the opposite end of that, if you're caring about the knives, I would definitely go either Chroma 3 or Spectrum 2, depending on which way you want to go. If you're looking for just the best finishes, Chroma's definitely going to have your bang for your buck. If you're looking for butterfly knives with good finishes, Spectrum 2's obviously got that for you there. Both of these are probably going to be rising relatively similar in price in tandem together with kind of the wildfire in the next case we're going to mention as well. They're all in the older rare case group, which consistently usually is maybe 50 cents to $1 within each other. I think they're great options for what you're wanting. Now if you're looking at the glove market and wondering what's the best case for you, first up I would highly go against the Hydra or honestly the glove case. Unfortunately, the glove case is just way too expensive and it's priced out the majority of people that are able to open it, but also the majority of people that are able to invest into it as well. I think the opportunity cost on this case is absolutely insane. Hydra, very similar situation as well. Obviously this thing is massive in its price point, and we got a lot of glove options at a super cheap price point, being that the active duty contains some of these that currently has a super low price point. Now the number 2 case on my list is going to be split, but it's our Prisma 1 and our Prisma 2. Currently what was the number 1 case in my previous video, honestly when it comes down to it, I just think they're in a very strong position when it comes to price point relative to the competition. They're a little bit cheaper than the Danger Zone, and when it comes to unboxing numbers and everything fundamentals wise, they are extremely strong and honestly one of the best. They currently dominate inside of nearly every area that they're in. It really comes down to the fact that there's one case out there that's a little bit cheaper, a little bit better. Prisma 1 and 2 though are definitely very high up on my list. They are definitely going to be a little bit more stable compared to the first case, my number 1. Honestly, I really like the Prisma 1 and the Prisma 2. Moving forward, I would definitely say they are increasingly in demand and something that definitely should not be overlooked. They are one of the best out there in every aspect that we look for in a strong rare case, and I don't expect any of that to change honestly moving forward. I really like them, and they're definitely one I would highly consider if I'm trying to make an investment. My number 1 CS2 investment for a case right now would actually be the clutch case. Now if you want to look at everything for the clutch case, it really comes down to one strong factor. The demand for this thing is nearly off the charts, and if we want to look at the supply, it's dropping really quickly. Honestly, the clutch case is in a position right now where I could see the price point easily coming to a similar level of what we see for some of these Prismas and Danger Zone cases, and that's why it's in my number 1 right now. Currently, it's about 2/3 of the price of those ones, and yet I still think it's got a very similar appeal. It's still got a much higher supply, but it's draining quickly, and honestly, when we look at it, the clutch case has been dominating in all respective assets. I think it's definitely one I would look at inside of the current market. It's a little bit more expensive than the snakebite, but you're getting a lot less supply, you're a lot more developed, and that's why I definitely think the clutch case should be one you're checking out. But that's all I got with you watching. Have a great rest of your day.